all divine pairings share passion like no other, right? So the intimacy, the passion between true divine pairings is really uncanny. It's incomparable, because it's what I always say to you guys. In acts of intimacy, we release our ego, and what is left are souls, right? If we release our ego. And those souls are of same frequency, so it's like they almost touch. So passion is always uncanny and always very, very strong within these connections. But I feel like for your connection, specifically for some twinnies, I find especially the second waivers, passion is just, it's like when you are both in a room, people sense it. Is this fire that is ignited. It's like you almost create this chain reaction into others. It's just this impossible for these pairings to be in a room together, of course, until you're healed, for 5 minutes without just doing it. Okay, and I feel that was your connection. A lot of passion, a lot of ignition, a lot of these serendipitous, spontaneous, wonderful moments. But you would now be in a deep reflection over this passion as well, because you are growing, because you are entering your divine feminine state, because you are diving deeper into yourself. You're understanding that passion is beautiful, but when that passion is bound by shadows, when that passion is not healed, it becomes almost controlling over you, right? It becomes unpredictable. It becomes there are certain things in life. Passion is beautiful, it's wonderful, that romance and so on and so forth, but if it's deprived of that real strong, healed masculine energy that grounds it into something real, into something tangible, it is just unpredictable, destructive force. I'm just hearing one thing, because I'm looking at your pairing. We have Queen of Wands, King of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is up front, and I feel this is your energy in combination with High Priestess, which is very beautiful. So it means that you are standing in your power, standing in your fierceness, in your fire, in the determination to do things for you, to grow for you, to progress for you. But the King of Wands it's in reverse, and what's coming to my mind is be really, really careful. If this is not your first video watching me, you would know that I always say this. Sometimes, and for this collective, right? So your person is connected to someone else. And in that moment, oftentimes feminine, it is always a test. It is always a lesson. It is always something that has to happen. These connections are so deeply spiritual, and they're meant to create two spiritual teachers, right, who will walk towards Christ consciousness in this lifetime. So we really are being pushed. So we, in these pairings, lessons that people receive in 1 year, we have to swallow it in a week. Okay, it's a lesson after lesson after lesson. It's a trigger, it's a learning, it's a push, right? Because it's the opportunity to reach that final lifetime, to close all the loops of previous lifetimes, to achieve Christ consciousness. So no time for rest here, right? And oftentimes in these connections, the feminine falls into the illusion. And you know, I talk about this all the time. I've really broke this topic down in my Divine Feminine Masterclass that you can find free on my YouTube. And I also have an attunement about this to really break free from this illusion. But it's such a strong illusion on this journey that the feminine thinks that the masculine is behind, right? So you are here, you acknowledge this love, you acknowledge this connection, you know how much you grew. And he is there connecting to another woman, choosing another woman. So he must be behind, but it's not true. I talk about this all the time. So please, there's a reason it came to my mind. Please don't fall into that illusion, okay? Our masculines operate in the 3D. On a soul level, we're same. We're same, but we have different lessons to learn. It's like, I always say this to you guys, we're teamwork. It's task division, right? So saying that he's behind, it's really like, imagine you work in McDonald's, okay? So you're one person, you're frying the meat, and then the other person like assembles the burgers, right? So imagine like the person that assembles the burgers turns to you and said, oh my God, you haven't assembled a single burger. No, I haven't, because it's not my job. It's not what I'm supposed to do. He is supposed to break the matrix. He is supposed to go through the karma, just like you do soul healing for both of you. He does karmic clearance for both of you. You do different things. You cannot compare this journey, right? So it seems like he may be behind because he's choosing another woman. When he reaches his satori, and it will never happen until you are done with your healing journey. When he reaches his satori, it's gonna be days. It's gonna be days for him to really pick up the pace, to really come into certain realizations. He cannot. He has to stay underneath the veil, okay? So be mindful of that. There's a reason it came to my mind. All right, so it is time to do future. And if this is the first part you're watching, you know what I'm going to say if you know me. You cannot take this part, future, what's coming for the two of you, and claim it. The previous part has to resonate. So make sure you watch the first part, because it may not be your collective. Oh, and we have addiction at the bottom of the deck. Remember what we said in the first part? Maybe a detail. Okay, I want to do what's coming. We're going to do tarot for this as well, but let's pull a couple of these, maybe 4. What's coming in the next cycle for this collective, in the next 9-month cycle? Or I'm hearing until your next cycle, so figure out your cycles. Okay. Boundaries. The gardener, that's nice. That's really nice. That's really nice. All right. We have number 2, boundaries. So maybe this next season really will be for you. I'm looking at the owl. Maybe the owl is a sign for some of you. Maybe the next season will really serve for you, for both of you, without you knowing. We're always mirroring to strengthen your boundaries. What do I always say to you guys? Boundaries is something that is formed naturally, is a byproduct of true self-love. When you love yourself, it's not a struggle, it's not a challenge to form boundaries, even with people you love and people who love you. Boundaries are protective shield of who we are, of our authenticity, right? So someone who really lives in their truth of who I am doesn't have any issue with enforcing these boundaries on others. You don't feel guilty. You don't feel intimidated by doing you just naturally set boundaries. So I feel there's something, it's still something you have to work on. It's still something you have to work through to make sure that you strengthen these boundaries, because the ultimate test of our boundaries is always our divine counterpart. As they return, as they come back, we may be very good at setting boundaries with others, but in that connection, your counterpart is always that ultimate test, right? So I feel like you're going to be strengthening these boundaries. We have Gardener, which is a beautiful card as well, because it talks about really taking care of your garden. Remember, you climb the bridge, you go down the bridge, and you reach the end of the bridge where you start to build your garden, right? So I feel like you're not there yet, this collective, but you're starting to walk down the bridge. You're preparing yourself to be the gardener. You're starting to understand what life is really about, that what you need to attend to, what you need to take care of is your internal world, your garden, right? And in order to do that, you have to become someone who is very self-aware, who is very self-conscious, who always looks inwards, who loves themselves, who has strong boundaries, who knows what's my mission in this world, what do I need to develop within myself. It's very important for the divine feminine to know your mission. I feel like you're going to be starting your era of really tapping into your mission. Like in the beginning, you know, we're jack of all trades. Everything seems so exciting. We want to learn about crystals, cacao ceremonies, shamanic healing, Akashic records, cards. We do it all, right? But we usually have a very specific craft, something that we will be doing, and oftentimes this craft is always linked to a specific thing, right? So when you're a reader, you're not a reader for anything. Like I'm a reader for love and alignment. So if someone comes to me and they need guidance when it comes to their physical health, for example, there are psychic mediums and readers who tap into that sort of energy of the physical body. I don't do that, right? There are readers who read for people who are not on a journey of spirituality. I don't do that. So if you are not someone who is awakened or spiritually aware, you have nothing to look here with me, because I always say this to my feminists: I am your last chapter, right? You come to me when you're truly ready for self-reflection, for choosing the right path, not the easy path, for really looking towards yourself. Not many people is ready for that. So as a divine feminine, as a mission, you also have to tap into that. You really have to understand, what did you come here to do? And I feel that's what's going to be happening in that next cycle for you. We have emotional freedom. That's also a beautiful card. We have another owl here. I feel like you will reach that emotional freedom, and I'm being guided to tell you, I talk about this a lot as well, that when we become really healed, when we reach that moment when we're centered, when the healing journey is over, it's a misconception that people say that it never ends. I've done a video about this recently. You can go ahead and watch that. But if we truly embark on a dedicated journey of healing, yes, we do graduate. Yes, it has an end date. Then we have to continue to grow, expand, do some maintenance, but the healing journey ends. And we really release emotions. We really become emotionally free. And people perceive that, because remember what we said about 80% of people? Most people don't reach that stage. So we're the weirdos for them. They feel like we're numb to what's going on in this world, numb to things that go on in our life. We're not numb. We're just emotionally mature. We're not allowing our emotions to overwhelm us, to dictate our actions. When the emotion comes in, we do feel them. We know what to do. We know that, okay, I have to feel this emotion. I have to release it. I will not act on this emotion. I will wait until I go back to my center. I know very well where this emotion is coming from, right? And I'm emotionally free. 90% of people is bound by their emotions. They act on emotion. They act on anger, on jealousy, on disappointment. When we feel these things, we understand they are about us, not about the others, not about the world, and we manage them properly, right? So I feel like it's also going to be a period of you understanding that and really learning to deal better with your emotions. And number 33, we have soulmate. You guys, I was hearing two things with this. So one is that because you are growing beautifully, you're probably going to be aligned with soulmates. Again, we talk about this all the time. True divine feminines, true awakened spiritual teachers. We don't have karmic relationships even in friends. We become spiritually selective because we realize how important it is and how much it influences our energy body, our state of mind, to connect to people that we have no deep soul connection to. So we really become very selective, and most of us, it's like we have one friend or maybe two, right? And if we do engage and connect to other people, it's through our mission, through other spiritual people. And maybe, yes, the only part that stays is that family usually stays, because it's normally most of our family are karmic connections. But we also create healthy boundaries. We also don't introduce our entire being and our entire world to our family, because we now understand what is the true purpose of life and of family, right? So I'm hearing that for you, that you really maybe will be aligned with a soulmate, or really start to cultivate relationships that are really based on deep soul connection only. But what I was hearing as well, there's a reason I deviated in your current situation, right? Be careful. Be careful. You are in a very challenging moment right now. The awareness of third party in our situation, in our connection, is very challenging. But don't allow it to sway you off your journey. Okay, remember, if our masculine is connecting to another woman, we must stay in a mindset of unconditional love and understanding. I know my love. I know my king, that this is part of your quest. And I am grateful to this woman, because the soul of this woman has agreed to sign a soul contract with you to teach you a lesson. The moment you will end this relationship, you will be a better person. You will be closer to union with me. So there's no need to get resentment. There's no need to get anger towards him, towards this woman. It's part of the process. And it's also a really good, strong training to unconditional love. It doesn't mean, again, you're human, you have emotions. So it doesn't mean that you're not in some sort of a pain. You know, knowing that your counterpart is connecting emotionally, physically to another woman, as a human, it will always be painful. But go back to the place of a soul. I know it has to happen. Just try to detach yourself from that. It's for some pairings, it's part of the journey, right? It's part of the journey. If you're in front of that experience, it means that universe and your higher selves know that you're strong enough to overcome that. All right, what's coming for this beautiful pairing in the next cycle of 9 months? One more. Five of Wands. Okay, this is what I'm hearing. You're definitely, we have the Fool, right? So this is the energy of new beginning, shifts, really. It's definitely a change on your journey. There's a reason I was guided to do past, present, future. Maybe you need a little bit of, reminiscing. You're doing that already, this collective, to really look back, to really make sure that you've closed all the lessons, right? Because you are shifting, you're crossing the bridge. You are moving to a completely different place and a different stage of this connection, right? And of your healing journey. There is there is a little bit of balancing and grounding energy with that Two of Pentacles. So your connection, whether you want to accept it or not, that's what I'm hearing. Your connection was bound by a physical plane of existence, that ego. It was full of passion, it was full of like in and out. Maybe in that in and out, oftentimes in that in and out, we feel that we cannot forget about each other, we cannot move away from each other, right? And now suddenly your person has connected to someone else. There's a third party in this situation, but it only means that the connection is grounding. when we find out that our masculine is connecting to a third party, this is something that only true twin flames will understand. So if you're not dead sure that you're on a journey, please swipe, because I don't want no nonsense here, right? True twinnies, when it happens that in separation you find out that your masculine is connecting to another woman, what is supposed to happen, it's supposed to ground and anchor your unconditional love. Put you in that mindset that I mentioned, right? It changes nothing. It doesn't change how much I love you. It doesn't change how much I trust and know that you are the other half of my soul, and that we came here to deeply, deeply heal. We've separated ourselves to be able in the same lifetime to heal on both levels. I cover the soul, you cover the physical existence. And it doesn't change how I feel about you, because I was not connecting to other men because you were single. I was not connecting to other men, and I was in celibacy because I was honoring my feelings and our connection. What you do doesn't change nothing. And this is those situations when I told you that some feminines crack and they don't have enough strength, and I feel like, oh, okay, you're connecting to someone else, it means it is over, I'm going to find myself a soulmate. No, I talk about this all the time. And again, I've done a channeled message about this recently as well. You can find it on my TikTok and also on my YouTube channeled messages playlist. There's a reason I was channeling that message, because many collectives may be going through this moment. It's a moment to ground. It's not a moment to give up. It's not a moment to go back into entitlement. We are not living a life of celibacy because because our masculine is as well. Think about this. From the very beginning of this journey, they're always connecting to other women. Yet we choose celibacy because we have been touched by a man who carries the other half of our soul confirmation, and as a spiritual part of the pairing, the one that sees beyond the veil almost immediately after activation, we understand, and we start to understand, my body is a sacred temple. I got the power within my womb. No one will come near me, okay? If it's not my divine masculine. If you truly stay on a journey. Some feminine will date, sometimes it happens that we have to connect to some soulmates, to some karmics, teach someone a lesson, teach ourselves a lesson, it happens. But true intimacy in a way of, fusing with another person, most feminists, especially the most powerful one, those that will reach union in this lifetime, it's not even on the table. Ugh. Do you know what I mean? So this is a test of your ego. Will you really understand that your connection is not a connection from this plane, from this world, from the physical world? What he does, it may be what he has to do. Maybe if it wasn't because of this woman, he wouldn't be able to close certain karmic contracts and never return to you. You have to look from above. So it's time to really ground, to really balance certain things. I feel it's going to be time of balancing. But now we have two challenging cards, and keep this in mind. This is a forward movement. Oftentimes on this connection, it feels like we're going backwards, but we're not. Illusion. This journey is full of illusion. Remember how I always say to you guys, when we move from in and out, right? So still talking to our masculine in and out every few months. When we move to full-on separation, when we don't see him, we don't talk to him, we don't exchange messages, sometimes for years on end, right? We feel like it's going backwards. We feel like it's ending because he was returning every month. He was returning every 3 months. There's usually a pattern, and now he's gone. So is it over? Many feminists go there. It's not, but it's actually progress, because only in separation true deep healing can happen. And similarly here, if you look from a place of ego, you may think, well, okay, he's now in a relationship, an actual relationship with another woman. Maybe they're, it's like, it's official, they partners, maybe they move in together, right? Maybe they even posted something online, I'm hearing, and it feels like in a physical that he's taking a decision that is bringing you back. Maybe you went into that thinking pattern that I've said to you guys, that, oh, it means that now I have to focus on me because it's not going to happen anytime soon. But whether he is or isn't in a relationship changes nothing when it comes to your timeline. It's actually a progress. Because oftentimes, remember what I said, we learn better in a relationship. So he is not yet in a deep self-awareness because he's underneath the veil, right? Because he has a different job. So the fact that he entered that relationship may actually speed things up. In the relationship, he may realize certain things. He may clear his karma. He may notice certain karmic patterns, right? So really stay grounded. I need you to stay grounded. Focus on you. Focus on your mission. Focus on your garden. Focus on, freeing yourself emotionally. Focus on connecting to true soul connections. People who, you feel these people, they understand you. Do not think about what's going on in the 3D, in his world. This is his quest. I always say this is his quest. The reason I say this is because your first card is 4 of Cups, and then we have 5 of Wands, right? So in between, we have new beginning and grounding, but I feel like in the next cycle, there may be a lot of sadness. There may be a lot of, I'm hearing internal chaos in your mind. So I feel like you may be going back and forth. You may want to save this reading. I find that sometimes it helps. Save this reading, and if you feel like you're going into this mindset, watch it again. We'll go through certain things again, or connect to your healer. As Divine Feminist, I cannot imagine being on this journey without having a healer that you connect to regularly, that leads you on this journey, that you can text or talk to help you through this journey until the moment we fully cross the bridge and we find ourselves in our garden. This is a moment of our graduation. This is where your healer will let you go and will tell you, now is just a matter of time. Now it's just a matter of time, right? You've graduated. You don't need me. You're your own oracle, right? But until this moment, I cannot imagine being on this journey. So if you have a healer, reach out, book in an extra session, have a little conversation. Don't sit in this emotion. These two emotions together, quite dangerous. This is deep sadness. This is deep depression. And this is internal conflict. So I feel like you may be going in and out. We're going to do another row, but you may be going in and out in this sadness. Why is this happening? Maybe you're going to go into thinking, I've put so much, faith in this. The fact that he is in a karmic relationship, it doesn't mean it's over. True twin flames, it's never over. It's a journey for a lifetime. It's a journey for a lifetime. Is it possible that he's going to be in this relationship couple of years? Yes. But in the same way, whether he is or isn't in that relationship, your separation may have been the same length. You know what I mean? It's just the illusion of the ego that it changes something. It changes nothing. It changes nothing. 4 of Cups. Queen of Cups. Yeah. I feel like you're going to be very emotional. There may be, periods of really deep sadness, deep depression, but it's leading to this. So just trust. Feel your emotions. Feel your emotion. Trust your emotions. Allow them to guide you. Why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel sad that he's with another woman? I know that he's the other half of my soul. I know that he's been with many other women throughout all the lifetimes that we've lived. So have I. I've been with many other men. It changes nothing. It changes nothing. The masculine element is different. They learn differently. They allow yourself to be sad. It's okay to be sad. Again, like I said, it's okay to be sad. It's only human and it's only normal to be sad. The thought of your person really connecting on a physical, on a daily basis, it's torture. But it serves a purpose for us to overcome that. It really helps us to sometimes, even those feminists, I find that the masculine connected to them is never in that relationship, but just connects to other women on a shallow level. Sometimes we know. We either see it because we're guided to go to a specific place where we're actually going to see it. Even in the biggest countries and in the biggest cities in this world, it can happen. It's the serendipitous moment. You're going to receive that feeling, I have to go to this place, I have to go to this bar, and you're going to go that place and boom, you're going to see him with another woman, or you're going to receive a vision, or you're going to find something online, or you're actually going to, through your clairs, you're going to feel it, you're going to see it, you're going to get visions, you will know. So it seems like it's cruel. Why is this happening? But it's actually strengthening our unconditional love. Ask yourself, what does it change? Nothing. Does it change how you really love him? If it changed how you really love him, it means that your love is not unconditional. It doesn't really change. It does usually at this level where you're at, crossing the bridge, it shouldn't change how you love him. It shouldn't change your faith, right? It's just the moment of the ego when you're thinking that now it's going to take longer, but it's not true. It's not true. It's really not true. Two of Pentacles. Let's just finish the spread. Eight of Cups. I feel like I'm actually liking this energy. It's on top of these Two of Pentacles. I feel like you will manage to ground this energy. So maybe when you're going to find out about this, maybe, you know, in the beginning you will be tempted to like find out more information. Don't. Hanged Man, surrendering. Surrendering to what's meant to be. That's on top of that Fool. And more. Page of Pentacles. I'm seeing my routine card from my Divine Feminine deck. I feel, again, you're gonna go from moments of really, really, really deep sadness, really emotional purge, really feeling overwhelmed by your emotions, not wanting to continue, not knowing what to do, not knowing what it means. Again, rely on your healer. Rely on your healer. Take it easy. Feel your emotions. Don't judge yourself for these emotions. It's okay. It's happening for a reason, right? But I feel then you're just going to be able to really let go of these emotions and walk towards that emotional freedom. Really ground your connection. Really ground your love. You will forever be connected to him through red thread, no matter where he is, what he does, and with who he is. I want you to really practice developing compassion towards this woman. Many feminines goes towards anger, resentment. How can you be choosing a woman? She's not half of the woman that I am. You are her and she's you. If you feel that way, it's sister wound. You're one. She is just someone who is on a lower level of vibration because it may be her. She haven't lived as many lifetimes as you. We are on our final lifetimes. Remember that. We're a fraction of people on this planet. Not even it's the 5% that will go through the true awakening to assist others, right? But it's a fraction of a percent that is on a true twin flame journey. So you cannot compare. How can you compare yourself to her? Activate compassion within. Activate that sister love. Activate that great mother archetype. I always say this, right? And look at her with compassion. She's not, whoever she is, however she does, she's part of she's a puzzle piece in your equation. Thank her because to her, remember, you are now feeling jealousy, you're feeling anger, but to her, it's a karmic relationship. Your beautiful divine masculine is her karmic partner. So it's going to end up with pain. It's going to end up with lessons, right? So there's nothing to be jealous about. Send her love. Send her love. Send both of them love. It's a true test of, you know what I always say? Tests are opportunities for us to say that we are who we say we are. So many women on this journey, they bubble, and around saying that blah, 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 I'm this divine feminine, I'm this, I'm empowered, this and that. And when situations like that happen, they crack. They go into, I want a soulmate, I don't want this journey anymore. They go into, how could he be doing this to me? He's behind. He's not understanding what this is about. Who is this woman? She's not a half a woman that I am. That is not a divine feminine energy, my love. That is not a divine feminine energy. It's not. But I feel like you will get there. I feel like you will really get there. You will really surrender. You will understand that it's okay to suffer. It's okay to cry. It's okay to miss him. It's okay to really just drop into your emotion of pain as you really, as your mind starts to overthink the situation. But really maintain that high vibration. Maintain that high vibration. And I feel like at the end of the cycle, this next cycle, you will tame this internal fire. You will tame this chaos. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a slow and steady. So maybe even your healer will advise you that, like, one day, karma, it's part of your karmic contracts for both of you. It had to happen. It had to happen. It's not him giving up. It's not him not loving you. It's not him being behind. It is him courageously closing karmic contracts energetically for both of you. Again, just like you, everything that I said that you need to do, you do it for both of you. This is task division. This is true teamwork. And I feel like you're going to get out of this just by taking it easy, day by day. Focusing on your routines. Again, maybe even your healer will tell you this. One day at a time, focus on your routine. Change routine into ritual. It's really helpful when we're going through a lot of pain, right? So really focus on celebrating life for what it is. Celebrating life because I'm alive, because I can have beautiful breakfast, because I can go for a walk, and don't eat, dine. Don't take a quick shower, take a long bath, right? Celebrate life. It really grounds us. It really connects us to Father Universe, to the meaning of life. It really helps to remove the entitlement. Acts of service as well, I'm hearing. So maybe, to remove the entitlement, maybe do something for something nice for someone. I don't know why I'm hearing Metta Bhavana meditation for her, for this woman. Very powerful, very powerful. She is about to embark on a very painful journey of her life. A man that she probably now thinks that is the one or her soulmate or whatever, it's going to end up badly. It's going to end up badly. It's going to end up with lessons. Send her love. All right, my angels. I hope this was helpful. Very challenging period in front of you, but such beautiful, purifying, strengthening your love, strengthening your mission. I love you so incredibly much. If you need support, if you feel like booking a session, you can do this through my website. If you've enjoyed this, please, as always, like, share, comment, follow, and I will see you tomorrow.